It's time to talk One Piece TCG. Today I'm going to be teaching you the basics of the TCG, what products they have, how it works, and what investors are looking into. And in turn, we'll have a quick look at what the future of the One Piece TCG really is going to look like. This video is going to be designed for complete beginners. It doesn't matter if you know everything One Piece or you know no piece. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear idea of how the One Piece TCG works and if it's really for you. What is One Piece? Bro, it's one of the best animes of all time. The IP's grown in the US. If you don't know, get to know, watch it, bro. There's a live action Netflix. Yeah, the main thing that has really pushed the One Piece TCG is its playability and the mangas, bro. Those are the two things that are really pushing this TCG right now. And just look at this, bro. Look at these designs. Pokemon can never touch these designs. This TCG is unique. All right, let's talk packs. In a single English booster pack, you will be getting a variety of common and uncommons. The last two cards are either going to be two rares, a rare and an SR, or a rare of an OR of different sorts. 2 packs per box have the alternate Dawn as a third card. The type of cards you'll be looking for are SRs, secret rares, alt leaders, alternate art cards, SP cards, and the mangas. 99% of the time, it's the manga cards that you're wanting, with some exceptions being the SPs. Why should you get in the One Piece TCG? Well, look at the returns. Look at the returns. They didn't believe us. But jokes aside, the way Bandai have controlled playability and collectability has been a stroke of genius. They keep the mangas and limited SPs for the collectors and make them hard to actually obtain through ripping packs. And they reprint playable cards in different forms / versions, so they don't have to buy older sets as much to get the cards they need. This was seen in PRB. These are the sets that have released already. 01, 02, 03, 04, 05. That was the first wave of One Piece sets in the first year, with 5 being the big anniversary set. Now, the cheapest listing for 05 in the UK right now is like £400 and about $500 on TCG Player. The reason this was such a good set is because you had the manga Luffy in Gear 5, the most iconic image in One Piece at this moment in time. And you had 2 other mangas in the same set, which had never been done before. Remember, each set normally has 1 manga as the big chase, 4 to 6 SPs and 6 leaders. Also, with OP1, we had 2 variants. We had the blue bottom and the white bottom. Now, this is what people mean when they say blue bottom, white bottom. The first 2 waves of OP1 had errors. They tried to fix it, didn't work. The boxes were shaped different and the bottom was blue. And that's how we can tell a first edition booster box of set 1 and just a normal box of set 1. Imagine when One Piece first came out, you could buy a blue bottom at £80 a box because no one wanted it. The second wave was 06, 07, 08 and 09. PRB being squeezed in there as well. 09 being the second anniversary set with the first ever Gold Dawn for Gold D. Roger and 4 other mangas, a Luffy, Blackbeard, Shanks and a Buggy. Again, this is an anniversary set which had more demand at the time and in my opinion is a great set. And then after that we have 010, 11, 12 and now we're at the big boy 13. Which is why most of y'all are jumping into One Piece. Now 13, the 3rd anniversary set. We have 3 mangas this time and each one of them have a red variation. What does that mean? Money.
Here comes the money.
Yeah? Paydays. Because the red manga Luffy on TCG Play we have sales at $8,000 to UK eBay with sales of £13,000. It's a thriller, bro. I can't lie, it's a thriller. It's crazy. So, before I jump in my thoughts on 13, let me just say, you have special sets as well. Besides anniversary sets, you have like half sets. EBO1, EBO2, PRB1, PRB2. PRBs and EBs are mainly for playable cards. These are also on a very limited print run. EBs don't really get reprinted. Once it's gone, it's gone. With PRB, the first one had the first ever English God Pack. Has Pokemon ever done this for English? No. But One Piece did. You could pull every manga from 01 till 07 plus the Nami manga all in one pack. It was crazy. Now let's get to the fun part, buy-in. Now, One Piece normally operates in 3 big waves. Bandai are not afraid to reprint. Now let me say that again. Bandai are not afraid to reprint. That means there's 3 big ways for you to be able to get product in on new sets. They normally last 3 years. Historically, 01 to 05, excluding 04, spiked greatly in the first few years because there was such short supply and huge demand. As someone new to the space, you need to remember that timing matters in One Piece. For all the pokey investing bros, One Piece is not Pokemon. You cannot expect the price to have jumped up £100 within the first week. That's not how One Piece works. If you don't have too much space and you got a bit of capital, mangas could be the play for you. The mangas normally showcase the most popular characters in the whole of One Piece. Characters with cult-like followings. Shanks, Ace, Law, Luffy, Roger, and so on. And these cards are expensive. We're talking average £1,000, with the highest being 10 grand. Why is that? It's red. OP13 Luffy, it's red. Expensive card right now. You have the Gold D Roger. Gold is about 5 grand. The Gear 5 Luffy from OP05 has never gone below £2,000 raw. How much is it now? £2,500 to £3,000. Personally, I love the mangas, and so does everyone in the space. These cards are highly sought after and definitely a play that you could look to if you have the funds. So what sets should you as a beginner look towards? Well, sets that have good mangas. The manga chasers play big parts in the demand for boxes. Look at 04 with Sabo. People don't like Sabo more than they like Luffy. Right now, for retail, you can be grabbing anything from 06 to 013 if you can find it. There's some great sets in there to choose from, and here's what I would be looking at. Of course, OP13. The first wave has a bunch of errors. What does that mean? Pre-errata cards. That is highly collectible and sought after. Now, we don't know if Bandai are going to change the way the boxes look, like they did with 01, blue bottom versus white bottom. However, I still think the price at 140 around eBay, we're already seeing in America that the prices are going up very fast. They've got huge buyouts happening. That might occur in the UK, we don't know, but at 140 is definitely a good price to be getting in at. For the other DJs like myself, bro, 140 for a box to pull a 14k card, are you mad? I'm taking them odds. Best believe I'm taking them odds. 09 is another set that I will look towards. Me personally, when it comes to long term, we're following anniversary sets, people. Listen, the gold standard now is OP5. Why? It's the first anniversary box, incredible mangas, and the price has shot up the most outside of the first set. First set is always going to do a madness. It's first edition. Scratch that off, it doesn't count. 05 sets the limits in the One Piece TCG. Now we're seeing if 05 now sealed nearly out of print is going to be like 500 a box. It's showing that 09, the second anniversary set, can hit 500 a box. It's showing 13 can be a £500 box. People follow trends. When you were looking at Prismatic Evolutions, that's right, I'm looking at you. You were looking at Evolving Skies because the trend was Evolutions. You saw Evolving Skies went up to a 1.5k box. So you're now looking at One Piece thinking, oh, well, 05 is £500. 013's definitely got to be £500 in a few years. Yes, it will be. However, you got to remember, 13's going to reprint loads. It's a long-term game, One Piece. And that's how we like it. The fact that Bandai reprint all the time is a good thing. Some more sets I'll be looking at is PRB2. Again, following the trend of PRB1. Not as strong, but they're limited releases. Same with any EB set. They only print once. Another one that I'll be looking at that I don't see people talking about is OP11. It's the SP anniversary set. The gold and silver Luffy are bans. It's slept on right now, and you can get literally below retail. Personally, bro, we haven't even pulled the SPs on stream or anything. However, I will say that's definitely a set that I will look towards also. Now hold on, I'm gonna stop you from making some beginner mistakes. Again, One Piece is not Pokemon, right? And we are also in a bubble. What does that mean? Everything has high sales volumes. Now, just because everything's selling now and going up doesn't mean in the future prices aren't going to come down. If you haven't been in a TCG cycle before and all you know is this bull market, there's a time when TCG is not as popping and people are not trading at this volume that they are trading now. A prime example, vintage Pokemon cards. 5 years ago, everyone wanted vintage Pokemon. Now you can't even beg someone to buy a vintage Pokemon card from you, bro. It's modern. I'm not saying One Piece is going to disappear overnight. I'm just saying you need to be careful. This could be the very start of the One Piece bull market. Well, the second start. The first start was a few years back because everything's going up now. But it's still not a bad time to get in. But all the new people coming in that want to invest and collect are joining the hobby. this is a great time for you guys to get involved. I'm just saying, don't be buying sealed boxes at the peak of its hype or using funds that you can't hold on for years down the line. Yes, it's nice to be able to get a blue bottom 01, but can you afford to keep like a £2,000 box for the long term? Because that's what this is. This is a very long-term play. Bandai restocks, and that's a good thing because you want to get product. We want to be able to open product with you guys on streams. You guys want to be able to go to your LGS and collect. The whole point is you get product in, and Bandai are not afraid. Here's an example. OPO 5 was in stock for years. It just sat there. Yes, it might not have been at your LGS, but it was at the Bandai store. And it was there for ages, and people were able to get product for a very long time. And that's what's going to continue to happen. Another thing that I don't see people talking about is Bandai are cheeky, you know. It seems like they keep quite a lot of stock for their own stores. I don't blame them, bro. They can make what, £50 extra per unit instead of selling it at distro prices to your local LGS. I don't blame them. But that means they're gonna have stock. They understand and have shown when there's not enough product on the market to meet demand, they will either print a new set that has all them playable cards, which drives up market price, or they will just reprint that set to oblivion so you guys can get product. Because at the end of the day, Bandai aren't making money off these eBay and TCG prices. They're only making money from distributors and you guys going in their stores to buy them. Just a quick one for all y'all that stay till the end. I'm gonna put you on a little bit of game. So OP14 is going to be the first English set that has a little bit of a Japanese release. For those who don't know, Japan always gets sets first. Pokemon, One Piece, whatever, they always get sets a few months before. However, in OP14, in English, we're gonna have half a EB03 before Japan gets EB03. This is brand new. That's never happened before to my knowledge. Hype could be crazy. I know we're gonna be ripping a ton on stream. I'm just saying, there could be opportunity in the market for you guys. But overall, at the end of the day, please enjoy the hobby, bro. Don't just see TCG as an investing thing to do. Like, bro, these cards are beautiful. There's something to be enjoyed, to collect and have fun over, bro. So don't put too much emphasis on, I need to make money on this. Actually enjoy it. Open the product, bro. You never know. You might pull a manga. And trust me, a manga in person is 100 times better than seeing it on a screen. You really can't appreciate it until it's under the light. If you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe. Comment down below what you think is going to happen to the One Piece TCG in the future. In the next few videos, I'm going to be doing a deeper dive into the sets, the chase cards, and sealed investing as a whole, and what I look for in sets when I want to invest. It's safe to say, bro, One Piece is here to stay. We told you so. We told you 3 years ago, bro. This is the game. One Piece was so slept on. We tried to tell you. Jump in, bro. The art was too crazy. I'll go into that in the next video of why I thought this. But, bro, anyway, I'll see you in the next one, yeah? In a bit.